Good morning, Abundant Life Church of God family, and also Gospel Light Church of God in Concord, New Hampshire. We thank you guys that you guys are attending and watching over. I hope you guys had a blessed week. I know we prayed a little bit, but we're going to still pray for Pastor Alan McKinley as he comes back from North Carolina. So we just did worship. Hope everybody's doing well. I know we had a little snow last night, but not too bad. Or yesterday, I should say. So with that being said, let's get into the Word. Personally, Father, we thank you, dear Lord. We thank you for this day, this time of fellowship, this time to come together, this time to worship you, Lord God. And I pray today as we speak your word, that you just hide me behind the cross, Lord God. Allow every single word that's of me just be cast aside. Allow every single word that comes out of these lips just be from you. Allow us to have the ears to hear and the minds to understand and to comprehend and the heart to hold on to it. I pray that it just today this message speaks to somebody, Lord God, either in this room or in the E-family that is out there. I pray today, Lord, that we can be changed. 2021 will be not the year that 2020 was, but it's going to be a different year. We're going to continue seeking you, and seeking your wisdom and seeking your glory, Lord God. And I just pray that you just move through this whole sermon today. In your precious holy name, amen. Now, I want to turn to Genesis 7, 6 through 10. And then we're going to go to 13 through 17. So we're going to read 7 right now. Now, Noah was 600 years old when the flood of water came upon the earth. And Noah and his son and his wives and his sons' wives and him went into the ark to escape the waters of the flood. Of clean animals and of animals that are not clean, of birds and everything that creeps on the ground. 2 and 2, male and female, went into the ark with Noah as God had commanded Noah. And after 7 days, the water of the flood came upon the earth. Now, before we go into 8, 13 through 17, I'm going to hold off on that one for a little bit. Now, this is the year 2021, right? We all sat there and was very upset with the year of 2020, correct? A lot of things that happened in the year 2020. The reason why I brought up Noah is we're looking at 2020 as this bad year. That year that you just wanted to end. We're hoping that 2021 is going to be a new year, new start, new things. And the reason why I brought up Noah is he had a bad year. Can we all imagine being stuck in a boat with your family, whether dysfunctional or not? I just got that in my vision in my head. I want you to really think about that. Because if your family upsets you now, you have the ease and the ability to get in your car, get outside of the house, and walk away, correct? We're talking about this guy that had not only his wife, but his son, his son's wives, all these people, and all these animals. That's a lot of stuff, a lot of baggage right there alone. And we know that normally when in a household, and I'm going to bring this up, when you have a household, if there's more than one alpha, so to speak, 2 men in the house trying to raise their family, it's probably not a good scenario. So can you guys imagine being stuck in an ark for a year and not being able to go outside? That had been stressful. So when we look at our year of 2020, we can sit there and look at it in kind of a different hindsight, saying, well, geez, you might not have been that bad. Okay? I want to go briefly through some of the stuff that happened in 2020. Just really quickly. We had the Australian brush fires, right? And that killed 47 million acres and displaced thousands of people and killed 34 people. We had Prince Harry and Meghan quit the royal family. Obviously, we have COVID-19 that's still going on. We had a death, a famous actor that passed away with his daughter and the other friends, Kobe Bryant. The impeachment of Donald Trump. Stock market crashed in 2020, right? Black Lives Matter protest. Murder hornets in the U.S. There was a major explosion in Beirut that killed at least 190 people. And there was about 2,700 pounds of ammonium nitrate. Sad one was Chadwick Boseman death. Nobody realized it, that he had cancer when he filmed his last 4 films, and when he passed away, nobody knew that he had this disease, this cancer. He just kind of fought through it. Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. Alex Trebek died. So we had. I mean, that's just a couple of things that happened throughout 2020. The reason why I bring it up is we can look at all these things and we can say this was a bad year, but let's take back a little bit into 1999. Okay, so in Turkey there was a devastating earthquake that killed 14,000 people in '99. Okay, in NATO, the Serbs, there was an actual NATO bombing attack. The human population did surpass 6 billion people. There was an F5 tornado that struck Oklahoma, killing 38 people. There was a Hurricane Floyd that went through. The Dow Jones average closed at about 11,000 for the first time. In Mexico, the worst flood seen in Mexico in 40 years. Greece had a powerful earthquake that killed 143 people. Taiwan had another earthquake that killed 2,400 people. Columbine High School massacre that happened. We all remember that stuff, right? UK, 31 people died, okay, in a railroad accident. The reason why I'm saying this stuff, and I want to bring you to a point of thing, this happens all the time. Tragedy happens. Bad things happen. Things that we don't account for happen. And we always sit there and say, that was the worst year of our life. But somehow, some way, we always rally up. We always break through. We always overcome. And I know I can probably say that we always look at the new year when we're counting down the ball drop, and we're looking at our watches saying, is next year going to come? How many times did we hear in 1999, oh, we're not going to be around in 2000 because the world's going to end? How many times did we hear the person that was saying the blood moons, the end of the earth is coming? Oh, the Aztec calendar. The Aztec calendar is done, so we're done. The world is going to blow up and it's going to no longer be. We can look at all these things. We can look at all these tragedies, all these things that happened. We can look at Noah in the ark of what happened. But far too often do we not look at the blessings that actually happened in 2020 or in 1999 or in Noah's time. We don't sit there and we don't actually dissect and see what God has done in the midst of all these tragedies. We don't sit there and see how it's going through. And it's funny because I did not talk to Sierra about what my message was on about, but she hit the nail on the head. We sit there and see, okay, now I'm going to share with the E-family. As I was sitting there, God was telling us to move. We were signing our paperwork to go to Pennsylvania. The blessing wasn't that the COVID happened, I hate to say it, but the blessing happened that God stopped us from going to Pennsylvania. God sat there and said, okay, you know what, we're going to shut down this stuff. And I know this is personal, but it happens because I want to look at it personally, saying, God stopped me and blessed me with something else. I can look at this pandemic that's going on with COVID, that's still going on, and people are getting sick, and that's a sad thing. But we got to look at the blessings. We got to look at the opposite side of it. Instead of looking at the negativity, we got to look at the positivity. Because far too often we sit there and we look at it and we get depressed, and we get upset, and we get to the point where we can't move and we get angry because something's going on. But why don't we just sit there and remember that God is still on the throne, right? God is still in control, right? He has not left us. He has not forsaken us. He has not done anything to go away from us. He is still there. We got to look at that blessing. That yes, there's something going on, and He is doing something great. We don't know what it is. We just got to kind of go and roll with the punches, so to speak. Okay? So I'm going to jump around really quickly now to Genesis 8:13 through 17. So I was telling you earlier about Noah and his amazing life on the ark and how great it must have been, and must have had a little bit of the Brady Bunch moment going on about Marsha, and how I can almost guarantee you that there was no fights on that ark ever, and there was no stink on that ark. I mean, just it smelled like Febreze all the time. Okay, I can guarantee you. So we're looking at Noah and all his stuff that he went through. 8:13 through 17. In the 601st year, the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. Now, can you imagine that? First time in the year seeing ground. I know when we sit there and we have snow, it's like 3 months later, we're like, can this snow ever get going? First time in the year was able to get out of the boat and see dry ground. In the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth had dried out. Then God said to Noah, "Go out from the ark, you and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing that is with you, of all flesh, birds and animals, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that they may swarm on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth." So there was tragedy before. That's why the flood came. There was tragedy that, there was a lot of hatred, a lot of stuff that was coming against it. And God said, you know what? I'm going to stop and I'm going to reset, so to speak, okay? I'm going to reset everything. I'm going to send these people that I have called, and we're going to put them on there. Now he's saying we're going to reset it. So the blessing is now that they're multiplying, everything is going to be good, so to speak. But we all know that man is fallible, and they are going to be prone to sin. Okay? We have to look at what he went through as a blessing. Because honestly, if that did not happen, it'd probably be a lot worse today than it was back then, right? So there was a blessing in disguise. Okay? Esther, okay, 7 through 8. King Xerxes replied to Queen Esther and Mordecai, the Jew, because Haman attacked the Jews. I have given his estate to Esther, and they have impaled him on the pole he set up. Now write another decree in the king's name in behalf of the Jew, as seems best to you, and seal it with the king's signet ring. For no document written in the king's name and sealed with his ring can be revoked. When Mordecai left the king's presence, he was wearing royal garment of blue and white, a large crown of gold and purple robe of fine linen. In the city of Susa held a joyous celebration. For the Jews, it was a time of happiness and joy, gladness and honor. In every province and in every city to which the edict of the king came, there was joy and gladness among the Jews, with feasting and celebration. No matter what going on, back when Queen Esther, she was forced into marriage. She was forced into stuff. She pretty much, quote unquote, slavery back then. Okay? She was forced into it. And then God actually did something different. He loosened up stuff. And he brought back happiness and joy and gladness and honor. So no matter what that goes on in the trials and the tribulations and the circumstances that happen, we got to remember that God is there. And he's going to make something good out of bad. We just need to transfix our eyes onto him. And we not need to sit there and wonder what's going to happen next. Because the Bible clearly states that we don't have to worry about tomorrow because tomorrow is sufficient for itself, correct? That we don't have to sit there and worry about what's going to happen in 2021. Because guess what? 2021 is going to happen the same way it happened in 99, in 2000, in 2021, in 1874. Okay? It's still going to happen. No matter what, it's going to be another year. Now we can either take two ways of it. We can wallow in our self-pity and we can worry. Or we can have joy to know that, guess what, tomorrow is another day. We don't have to sit there and say, wow, geez, what's going to happen with a snowstorm tomorrow night that's coming or tonight? It's just another snowstorm. Welcome to New England, guys. Hate to say it, we live here. This is the belt where we live. It could be raining one day, it could be 90 degrees the next day. Don't worry about it. Live our lives the way we're supposed to be, okay? Psalms 118:1. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to him, okay? Give thanks, because we know that Michael's uncle had COVID, or has it still. But the blessing is he's getting healed. God's healing him because of prayer. I know we've been praying for him nonstop. So God is actually healing his body, correct? So the blessing is yes, he may have contracted it, but the blessing is that God's healing him. God is restoring him, okay? And we got to remember, we got to give thanks to God for that. We got to give thanks to God for the things that have happened, okay? Because through the trials, well, there is a rainbow at the end of the storm, right? That's what happened with Noah. He put out a rainbow to sit there and to symbolize his covenant with Noah, to sit there and say he'll never do that again, okay? So we got to look towards that rainbow. We got to look towards that spot where he is going to be in the midst of it. James 1:17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. You can sit there and you can ask yourself, how is this a good gift or a perfect gift? This COVID, the death of these people, the Black Lives Matter protests, the stuff that people have died over. You can sit there and look at the Beirut explosion. How can that be a good gift? Well, I hate to say it, but bad things happen. Bad things happen in the world. But the good gift is that Jesus died on the cross. Perfect gift is that Jesus died for you. Okay? That you can know without a shadow of a doubt that no matter what goes on in this world, if this world were to end today, somehow, some way, just God said, okay, today's the day. As a Christian, you can know that your perfect gift, your great gift that you have is to meet him up in heaven. That's a blessing. To know that you are saved by the man who died on the cross for us. That's a blessing. The sad part is there's too many people out there that don't know that blessing. So we need to start sharing that blessing to somebody else. And like I said last week, be the light on the hill for somebody else that doesn't know what the joy is, what the happiness is, what the love is. They don't understand how God can change. So today in 2021, we have to sit there, we have to make a change in our mindset to be different. And don't make it a silly fad, like every single year that we look at and say, well, this year I'm going to work out 40 times in a week, or I'm going to eat only fruits and vegetables, or I'm only going to eat this part, or I'm only going to go shopping here. I'm going to go buy all these fancy equipments to help me lose weight, and next you know those fancy equipments turns into a shoe rack, or a clothes hanger, or something, okay? Why don't we take those equipment and we use them for the good? Or how about this? How about a New Year's resolution? I don't know if you guys do it already, but your table, kitchen table, clear it off and actually use it for a kitchen table. Use it for food instead of a catch-all for your bills in a place to just sit there and throw all your stuff down. Speaking truth, because that's what happens too often. We get a kitchen table, and that kitchen table is just cluttered with everything else to the point where we can't sit down at it and eat as a family. We need to take that time in 2021, and when we make these New Year resolutions, we actually hold on to them. And we don't make up a silly fad. I'm going to drop 50 pounds in 2 months. I mean, you're going to gain 50 pounds in 2 months because you're stressing this so much because you can't get rid of it. So what you do is you, in turn, you start eating because you can't lose it. Fad. stress. So instead of sitting there worrying about it, look towards the blessing of it. Where was I? Lost my train of thought. Make these lights bigger. All right. So within 2021, I know we talked about a little bit earlier that we're taking a year of fasting. Now, the year that we need to fast, and the reason why we need to fast is there's a lot of stuff that's going on politically and socially. I want to briefly touch on that because with 2021 here, we need to start really focusing on what God has for us and start focusing on who God is. So when we're talking about fasting, fasting is something that is very important in our walk with God. Jesus said nothing's going to happen without prayer and fasting. It will not happen without prayer and fasting. So we need to sit there and we need to pray. We need to fast. And when we're talking about fasting, do we not know that there's many things to fast? You don't have to do the Daniel fast. You don't have to do the Mediterranean fast. You don't have to do the 21-day fast. If you are in a spot medically where you can't do a fast with food, try to cut out this. I can almost guarantee you that there is people out there that if you said get off of Facebook for a week, their life would probably crumble. Stay away from YouTube for a week or two. I can guarantee you their life would crumble. Stop watching CNN for 2 years. Their life would crumble. But when we're fasting, we're giving up something, honestly. We're giving up something that is so hard in our lives. So, I guess, quote unquote, control in our lives. Where the first thing we wake up to is we wake up and we go like this. Facebook. Awesome. Okay. That's a good recipe. And then, oh, wow, okay. And we start doing this instead of waking up and doing this. We need to start our new year doing this and more. Doing this. Powering down. Now I don't have to worry about it. Now everybody's going to call me and text me and say, what's going on?
Power down phone, power up the Bible.
Absolutely. And we don't, and honestly, you see those things all the time, the reading plans for a year. A lot of people don't hold to them. So why don't you make a covenant with God to reveal to him what he wants you to read? Why don't you speak to God and say, okay, Lord, I'm going to give you this time. You speak to me. You tell me what to read and what's going on. Instead of trying to read what somebody's telling you to read by looking at a Bible plan. Why don't you speak to God? Why don't you ask God to reveal what he wants to show you? Because I'm almost guaranteeing you that once you ask God to reveal what he wants for you, he's going to reveal the plan that he needs for you and where to go. It will be a good year. 2021 will be a good year. And honestly, it may not go your way. It may not go the way you want it. I know this weekend I expected so many things out of this weekend. Going to the mall, having a great time, going to go do shopping. Wasn't as adventurous as I wanted it to be. It really wasn't. Stressful. But the good thing is I got out of the house and I got to a mall. And I got to walk around. The blessing, and the real blessing is I got to go out to supper with my wife for the first time in over a year alone without any kids. That was strange. Expecting to give some french fries to a little kid and it's not there. But we got to remember that the blessings, that even though the stressful moment at the mall, the blessing was the supper later on. That was quiet. Our blessings are what we make of it. We got to look and seek and search for what it is. So, with that being said, I ask that you guys this coming week you seek God and you ask God to fast something. You ask Him, what can I fast? What do you want me to fast? What do you have that is controlling in my life that I need to get rid of so I can be more like you? Get off of Twitter. That's another one. For some reason that just hit me. Get off of Twitter. So take this time as a fast. And take this time. We're doing the 21-day sugar fast. I don't know about you, but sugar is hard. Sugar is probably one of the hardest things to get rid of. Okay? Especially coffee. Don't know how I'm going to do that. But I know God will do something. I'm going to be searching for the blessings that are in that trial that we're going through. So, and pray for the church. Pray for the people. Pray for this place. Pray for the church in general, across the whole world. Pray that this pandemic that's going on, not just with the COVID, but with the whole Congress and the Senate and the presidency, everything like that. Start praying for that. I mean, President Trump is going to need some major prayer. Whether you like him or not, he needs prayer. He is the one that's in authority over us. He's the one that's in charge of this country. We need to pray for that man. Okay? I'm going to close off here. So, Gospel Light Church of God, Pastor Alan Kinlaw, you guys can tithe the same way you guys been doing. I don't know if you guys do it electronically, by mail, but I'm pretty sure Pastor Alan and Nicole will reach out to you about that. I pray that you guys have a blessed day. Our e-family, we still do Tithely and also the snail mail, where you can send a tithe to 10 Barnsboro Road, Lebanon, New Hampshire. So we're here for you guys. David, do you mind closing out with prayer today?
Happy Heavenly Father, this last year was very trying in many ways, but you are still on the throne, and you are working behind the scenes to accomplish your purposes in our lives. Thank you for the circumstances that brought Greg and Sierra here, this place, to minister to us. And now, let us look to the future through your eyes, and fashion our hearts, and set our sights upon you. Bless this offering this morning. In Jesus' name, amen.
You guys have a blessed day on the family. You guys need me, I'm here for you.